80% of COVID-19 patients in ICU are overweight. Damn, I don't see a single comment actually discussing the article beyond the Reddit title, which is a bit misleading as the article was about not going on crash diets because they can make your immune system weaker despite the 80% number. Copy and paste from Google Translate for the English speakers like myself. Many patients on IC are overweight, but don't go on too strict diets now. Doctors advise people who are obese not to start strict diets immediately because they are afraid that they will end up in the ICU during a corona infection. The reason is the reports that 80% of the corona patients who are in the ICU are overweight. Diederik Gommers, chairman of the Association for Intensive Care, came on Friday in the television program Jinek with these figures. According to Gommers, being overweight can be the result of, for example, diabetes or high blood pressure. Overweight people also have a heavier chest, which makes it more difficult for them to breathe. Liesbeth van Rossum, internist at the Erasmus MC in Rotterdam, warns people not to start a so-called crash diet after these reports. We see really shocking numbers of people who are seriously overweight who end up in IC. It is also a real risk factor because the immune system is affected, but a crash diet does not solve your obesity problem, says Van Rossum in the NOS Radio 1 journal. The strict diet can also cause a lack of nutrients, so you get a diet that affects your immune system even further. The problem of being overweight is not solved in a day. Liesbeth van Rossum, internist Erasmus MC. Of course it is good to solve obesity, but that did not happen in a day. Then you have to change your diet and lifestyle for a long time, and that is not easy in such a quarantine period. The cause of the obesity must also be it could be stress or sleep deprivation, for example. According to Van Rossum, people who are obese should especially avoid becoming infected with the virus. Incidentally, Van Rossum does not receive many troubled messages from overweight people, but that is probably due to the fact that care for obese patients is seen as chronic care and is currently on the back burner. The consultation hours are, for example, only by telephone. Van Rossum considers it important that people who are now at home and experience stress, because they are not sure whether they will keep their job, for example, continue to live a healthy life. People are more likely to reach for snacks or alcohol, but above all, comfort yourself with a healthy lifestyle and prevent your pounds from further increasing. This is incidentally separate from the current obesity patients, because we should have tackled that problem before to address the current complications. To catch. I posted a similar survey result from the UK yesterday. 70% of fatalities in the UK were obese. I read a sad report in UK this weekend of a lady who had passed with no pre-existing conditions, but the photos showed that she was very overweight. To me, unfortunately, being very overweight is an existing medical condition. To me, unfortunately, being very overweight is an existing medical condition. Not only to you, obesity is a medical diagnosis, and it isn't made out of aesthetic viewpoints but out of the actual danger obese people are in, medically speaking. Seeing the organs of an obese person is a very eye-opening thing. I'm sure you can probably see the same on Google Images. Thing is though, young obese often haven't seen organ damage yet. That is why it is quite alarming that young overweight people do seem to struggle more. I imagine for a 20-year-old though, even with a weight issue is still low risk. I wouldn't want to scare anyone. It occurs to me that every health app labels me as clearly obese based on my height and weight, but my doctor has never mentioned obesity to me, and has only talked about diet with me in the context of my high blood pressure. Edit. Since it seems to be a common question here, I'm 6 feet 2 inches and weigh about 260 pounds. I am definitely obese. If you looked at me you might go, this dude is overweight, or dude's gotta lose some weight, depending on what shirt I'm wearing. Also, my blood pressure issue predates my weight issue and my doctor does know that. In Italy, 76.1% of patients who died from COVID-19 had hypertension, or high blood pressure. Source. I have high blood pressure and my husband is still going to work with young guys that aren't taking this seriously.